Good evening, everybody. Let's see. I'm trying to get this set up, and I know nobody's actually watching yet, but bear with me. Good evening, everybody. While I get this together, I'm trying to get this set up. Thanks for your patience while I try to figure this out. Actually, ready to go. Let's see if we can get ourselves some episode 5 of Fort Fritz rolling. And maybe even do a little picture stuffing with the things and the stuff and the things with the peoples and the stuffs. Fort Fritz, episode 5, Library Blowtorch. I think it's gonna get kind of crazy.
Welcome to Fort Fritz, episode 5. I am your host, Fritz, joined by co-host Mandaddy.
Hi.
Kaz.
Hello.
Nick Spry.
What's up?
And we have special guest, Daniel Travis.
Hello.
Fair warning, we are going to try to scare the hell out of you. Whether or not we do that, that's entirely up to you, of course. But we encourage you to do additional researching if you want to Google these stories that we talk about tonight. We are going to try to tell the truth, but, you know, the whole truth thing, it's a
Boring.
bit of a subjective topic.
There is no more truth, man.
Fake truth. Fake truth, exactly.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Oh, almost got a double in
A
there.
glass of gravy water.
Having said that, we encourage you to do additional homework, and we welcome you to Fort Fritz. Well, thanks for joining us here on the front porch of my beautiful house, my haunted mansion with decaying wood, and I hate my life because of all the work I have to put into this thing.
It's beautiful. Beautiful veranda. Look at the view.
Thank you.
It is actually the less spooky part of the house. I feel actually pretty calm out here.
Yeah, because you're not actually in the house.
That might be it.
Except for that one lone tree in the distance. That's kind of ominous.
It is, and I asked the city if I could remove it, and they said no. It literally is a very rare tree, and I can't do anything with it.
Even the noose that's hanging from it, that's a little spooky.
It's like the historic district when you want to update the old Beefy King sign, you know?
Yeah.
You got to make sure it's up to the original standards. This is not a good part of town. It is a beautiful day, and it's one of the only beautiful days that we've ever had that I can remember being here.
That's true.
Been pretty gloomy.
How's everyone's mint juleps?
Tasty.
Delicious.
Tangy. A mint julep is just it's tangy.
Feel like I'm watching the Kentucky Derby. Wearing a big, stupid hat.
Does that explain the hat?
Hallucinating out in the hot sun. But last time we talked, we were going over the chicken joint down the road. And so have you guys thought about different restaurants around town that we can try out?
What would be appropriate for a Fort Fritz meal?
I'm
Anything dead, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Chinese food.
Most things are dead, I think, that we eat. So, yeah, I think
Oh!
Hey! That sounded bad.
One of our famous spontaneous rainstorms.
That this region, this non-regional region, is known for.
Feeder bands.
Speaking of spontaneous rainstorms, have you guys heard about the phenomena where clear, almost white jelly substance rains from the sky mysteriously?
no, that sounds awful.
That sounds really sexual.
It sounds
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
It sounds
it's
like
like-
it may be a good time or a horrible time,
Like
depending upon
tapioca?
There's a few specific incidents of this happening. Some of the most famous ones occurred in a single town called Oakville in Washington, way out in the sticks. You guys probably never heard of Oakville. Not many people have.
Yep, not offhand.
There's only a population of about 684 people there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's tiny.
Yeah.
That is a super tiny
I think
place.
my graduating class was bigger than that.
That's like a parking lot.
Sounds like a John Cougar Mellencamp song.
You're not wrong.
So, back in 1994 in Oakville, on a farm, one morning they woke up and they just found this clear, white, translucent jelly had rained from the sky and was all over their fields and grass and trees and stuff. And they had no explanation for it. People don't know what it is. They don't know where it came from. Nobody saw it actually raining. It was just there. And then...
So it could have come up.
Yeah, it could have come up. But, you know, it's on the tops of things. It's sort of, you know, by all witnesses' accounts, it was on the tops of things. It's not really, you know,
Okay.
if it was coming up, you'd expect to see it on roots and the underside of leaves and stuff. But this was
True that.
on the top of everything. And they tried forever to figure out what it was. And then a couple months go by, and it happens again. But this time somebody is actually there, and it's raining from the sky, and nobody can understand. There's never been an explanation for this.
Was this something that they collected from the sky? They can actually quantify how much
They did
rain
take
fell?
a sample. Oddly enough, the sample contained human DNA.
Ooh.
Get out of here.
Wait.
Are you kidding me?
Really? Was there a scent to it or a viscosity? It just was a gel?
Yeah, it was like a
bleachy
jelly,
smell.
liquidy gel material,
Was it like human, like plasma?
like just human DNA.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's all sorts of theories. There are instances of this happening. Not the same sort of scenarios, because I don't think human DNA was found in those. There's not a ton of information, but in the other instances, people have come to call it star jelly. They think it's part of like a meteor dying and disintegrating when it flies over the earth and falls.
Was that David Bowie's drummer?
Star jelly? No, that's what happens when you see a bigger star than you.
You get star jelly.
Star jelly.
I am so star jelly.
Promo.
Promo.
But then how would human DNA be on a meteor entering the Earth's
Well, that's
atmosphere?
the thing, huh? Well, I sure as hell don't know. What do you guys think?
Oh, hell. I don't know.
Oh, hell.
Oh, hell.
shucks, mister.
So,
Golly gee willikers.
Nick Spry, do you have anything to add to this?
I'm still puzzled by the fact that it is human DNA, just DNA, or was it actual cells? Was it actual, like, white blood cells, or was it, like, human plasma from blood, or how it was, I don't know.
Or is it just trace DNA?
Trace DNA floating in some sort of, like,
Suspension.
Well, so I imagine with like most sort of sky jellies, it was probably like you couldn't really get like a firm spectral. Sort
It
of
was
analysis
actually-
on it.
As with all sky jellies, how familiar with sky jellies are you?
Wait, Kaz. Kaz, have you seen Sky Jelly in a Sky Mall magazine? I'm asking you.
It was a little too expensive for me, so I flipped by it pretty quick. I didn't read the actual description, but yeah, it was
Fair enough.
Maybe somebody bought some Sky Mall Sky Jelly, threw it out the airplane, was dissatisfied with it, fell to the sky, fell to the sky, fell to Earth.
Fell to the sky.
Further studies showed that the substance contained white blood cells.
Yeah.
So maybe there was like some type of mishap with the transportation of like blood or something like that. Like maybe they were like bringing, maybe a box of blood fell off like a plane somewhere or something in the sky. And
Sure. What you mean, like in some airplane cast?
Yeah.
They're just like releasing white blood cells and like someone's having like a Johnny Appleseed of the sky with human blood cells.
It's chemtrails with blood cells.
Okay.
Hey, boss, it happened again. I dropped the white blood cells out the back of the plane.
Oh, hell, I told you not to do that the last time you done it.
Oh,
Make
I've
a
done it.
Little Cabbage Patch dolls all over the place.
I'm trying to be a realist here. Like, how could white jelly with human DNA fall from the sky?
What was
Aliens.
the area that was affected? Like,
Dan
how
Travis.
large an area?
It was a farm in a town of 684 people in Washington.
But so, I mean, like square mileage, like how, like, but was the entire town covered, or was it just the farm area?
It was just the farm.
just the farm. Okay.
Well, I mean, extraterrestrials, they kind of have a backstory with messing with farmers for whatever reason.
No one believes them.
Yeah.
You think
Would
farmers
believe
are
a farmer?
untrustworthy?
Yeah, no.
How
would I believe
does
a
this
farmer?
play into other
Hey,
world
farmers
phenomena?
are the salt of the earth.
Hey, you can't salt the earth when the farmer's around because then you'll kill his crops.
Well, except for the clear jelly.
Ah.
Mr. Travis, how does this explain other world events like yellow rain and red rain and black
Falling
rain?
down. There's been black rain?
Yes, there's been black rain, and also, does this relate back to the panspermia theory? Do you know what that is?
I sure don't. Please explain.
So asteroids have trace of some kind of microbe on them, and just like one sperm hits one egg, it lands on a planet suitable for that life, and boom, bingo, bango, bongo, you got some life.
You got a
I
plan.
saw that in a
Bing, bing, bing,
Futurama
bong.
episode.
It's a Prometheus.
So
as
if
well, I
it
think,
is
right?
this meteorite exploding and there's no evidence of it, it could be something like that. They could literally be making it rain.
People.
So you're saying that all human
Wow, that
life
was
might be the byproduct of some alien adolescent just having a one-off?
All I'm asking you, Nick Spry, is just give it a chance.
the cosmic
all right?
equivalent of throwing your dirty gym sock in the corner.
Jesus.
Well, red rain was showed to be an upper atmosphere disturbance. Black rain was soot mixing in and falling to earth. And then, purple rain was a fantastic pop record.
I can't
classic.
argue with that.
But I don't think it has anything to do with any of those.
All right.
Well, I think also the fact that it happened in such an isolated area twice seems
Exactly.
a little
Yeah,
weird.
that's the weird part.
It was on a farm. Like, it's not
That
that
does
big
seem
of an
weird.
area in a town of 684 people. That's so remote and so removed.
That's definitely
It
true.
doesn't make any sense.
And it sounds pretty impossible to be a prank of any kind because who's going to get that much white blood cells to just go out and frenzy
white
around and
blood
put it
cells.
everywhere?
That's what makes it super weird too.
Some weird Howard Hughes billionaire in the sky with
This'll
long
mess with him.
fingernails, just
Bill Gates.
dishing it out for all you kids.
Bill Gates lives in Washington. I'm sure he likes to have fun every once in a
Why
while.
wouldn't you?
Just explode up. It's Washington.
Oh, that was good.
But it's weird because when you think about it, we could almost do a whole episode just talking about weird rain things that happen. There's been times where it actually has rained frogs, where it's rained fish, where
Meat
it's
rain.
rained.
I've heard of the Kentucky meat rain.
Yeah, Kentucky meat rain. We opened for those guys in Tampa. They're really nice guys.
What was that, Kaz?
Yeah, apparently some meat fell from the sky in Kentucky. I think it was maybe 19th century, pre 1900s, right before when it would have been able to be verified. But yeah,
That's when all the cool stuff happened.
exactly.
A nice fillet rain. Top sirloin rain.
If you're poor, you're just getting like a chuck eye rain.
Tomahawk ribeye rain.
That would hurt.
Yeah, I'd be staying inside for that one.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I'm starting to get a little creeped out by all this gooka on the leaves out here.
Have you seen that? I've been watching it, for the
It's
past
getting a
couple
little
minutes.
messy. It's starting to build up here. It's starting to seep onto the veranda.
What are we calling this? Gooka?
This goop.
Dan Travis, were there any health implications from this rain?
There aren't believed to be any. But
Okay. So in theory, I could scoop some up from mint julep here.
Yeah, well,
and
let's
just
put
see
it
what
on-
I
Let's
got.
hangify that up.
I mean, we already know it's white blood cells. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
That'll just make you strong.
Yeah, I mean, we could have a Superman thing going on here.
Hey.
Hey, supernatural. Ah.
Well, there you go.
Well, you don't want to have the love child of some alien. That's just
I don't think
Exactly.
playing
Hey, speak
dice
for yourself.
with
That sounds
the
kind of cool.
evolution.
This is a new level for me.
We all saw Alien. I don't want any part of that.
It doesn't feel like a good time at the end of the night, I guess.
No.
A lot of fun when it starts. You know, it's a lot of fun at the beginning, but
R.I.P. John Hurt.
yeah, that's true.
I have something I got to show you guys anyway. In the
Oh
house.
no, don't whip it out.
So
Oh, God.
let's take a little break, and then when
Refresh
we come,
our drinks, maybe?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe embellish on the cocktail side a little bit. Still got to figure out what restaurant we want to order from, and also coming up, we have voicemails from people who have called in to 570 Fort Fritz 4RT FRTZ. So coming back, you might hear one of your voicemails. Without further ado, let's
cool.
get the hell on back in the house.
Oh,
You're
no.
listening to. Don't worry, man, daddy.
It's gross out here.
You have this house has hurt me more than it's hurt you so far.
Now you're being a baby about it.
Son of a bitch, guys.
You're listening to Fort Fritz.
Just pausing during break time. What I'm looking at here is scan 3 images. What I'm going to do is kind of solidify the 3 images so tomorrow we start from something a little more interesting than where we're starting tonight. And maybe I'll get to some kind of hint as to what I might do for the drawing tomorrow yet. Still kind of working it out. Kind of on the fly. Anyway, thanks for listening.
Welcome back to Fort Fritz. Now, over the break, we were listening to the voicemails that we've received at 570-478-3789 or 570-4RT-FRTZ. And here is the first one.
Hey guys, it's Bill from What's the Fuzz. I'm just calling to say iced coffee is delicious. You guys should drink some.
Ah, see, we love hearing stuff like that. Yeah, obviously, iced coffee's great.
That's terrifying. That's terrifying to me because what is in this iced coffee that's compelling him to call us? I mean, that's
good point.
that's terrifying. I mean, it's. Have you ever had a beverage so good you were just forced to call someone to explain how good it was?
I don't know. I've had like 7 cups of this cold brew today. It's really got me going.
That's not iced coffee.
That is, yeah. There's something creepier about iced coffee because it's like they're torturing the coffee by making it iced.
Man,
Because
Daddy.
coffee doesn't want to be iced. It's coffee.
Man, Daddy, all you have to do is brew coffee and put some ice in it.
It's
For
cruel.
the birds is what it is.
Let's listen to the second voicemail.
Yeah, how many different types of aliens are there?
6.
So as you guys can see, this is the second landing. And I have all of late Uncle Felix's R.I.P. God bless him. God bless. I have all of his books moved into the bookcases along this wall here.
This is impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice. It's
Huge,
very nice.
a lot of books.
You even have one of the rolly ladders, ladder with wheels.
It's actually-
What are those things called,
It
by
is
the way?
actually called a library ladder or a rolling library ladder.
It's almost like you had had that conversation with someone a little while ago.
Shut up, nerd. Jesus,
you know.
Nick Spry.
Him and his book learning.
Yeah, get out of here with those books.
Wait a minute, we're in a library. He's going to have to take a lot of books to get out of there with those books.
So as I was saying, thank you, man, Daddy. There's a lot of books.
You're welcome, Fritz.
And you can see a lot of different books here. Leather-bound books, beautiful books.
Everyone
Huge.
tells me about them.
Huge.
They're absolutely tremendous.
It's a
First
great Donald
impressions.
Sutherland impression.
Oh my God!
The nose.
There's acting books here, of course. Yes,
Right.
playwright.
Are the
books.
books acting?
They could be.
At night, as you sleep, do your books act?
You had a great point. Am I at a house party? Like, is the party at a house, or is the house throwing the party?
Right, there's a big difference because one's a lot of fun, the other is terrifying.
So which one of these books opens up a secret passageway? There's at least 3.
How would you know?
Definitely.
We'll just start pulling
I
on them.
can
Check them out.
Sense it. Spidey sense.
Just put it. Wait! Whoa! 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 Whoa!
What was that?
Did you just make that flamethrower activate? What did you just do, Kaz?
I just pulled this one really old, kind of weird book out. I don't...
Put it back in?
All right.
You have a flamethrower in your library.
Yeah, that's definitely not
Yeah,
right.
that's not up to code.
Yeah.
I don't think the pages on this book are made of paper at all, though, so it might not even burn.
Just put it back in, and then let's
All
see
right.
if you can replicate it. Okay, put it back in.
Okay, it's in.
All right. Now go ahead and slide it back out.
All right.
Oh, that's wow, you're cooking with gas.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would any human being have that in a mansion?
Right.
No, why would any human being have
Who
that
would
in a library where you keep all the paper?
That's
Who
a
would fund
bad
that?
idea.
It seems like bad
In an
use of
old
resources.
wooden house. Yeah, that's a terrible idea.
Hey, look, here's a closet full of oily rags. What could
Yeah.
go wrong?
What is that book you got there, Kaz?
Let's take a look here. Oh. Whoa. Hold on. Wait a
What
minute.
is this?
No. I'm putting it back. No. I can't. We're not dealing
What
with
is
this
that?
right now. We're not dealing with this right now.
Man, you read fast.
It's just the cover. But
Oh, like the author's notes on the inside of
God,
the
if
jacket?
there was only a proverb about not judging books about their cover.
I can't think of
this
one.
I
this
know.
the cover of this one is actually pretty well known. I think this is an actual Voynich manuscript, a copy of the Voynich manuscript.
What is that?
The Voynich manuscript is a large, old book made of vellum. The pages are vellum, which is like a skin, calf skin, or sheepskin.
Oh.
So it's kind of already pretty creepy, right? Not
That's
like
spooky as hell.
Yeah,
Right,
like the Necronomicon
So
type
instead
stuff.
of writing on it, they're like tattooing into calfskin?
I think so. The text and the paint and all of the pigments and things like that in the book are very common. Like, it's something that they could easily trace back to the time that they radiocarbon dated these pages to about the early 15th century.
Whoa.
Yeah. So this is old. You got an old book right here. This could be worth some money, actually. Maybe even more than the house.
Go on.
Okay. So this Voynich manuscript, again, they sort of dated it back to the early 15th century, and the strange thing about this, obviously, books at that time were pretty hard to come by. It took a lot of time to create and produce these, so it was strange when they found this large 250 plus page book that was essentially gibberish and nonsense. There was no known connection to any European or even Asian languages that they could really call to. It was a complete code. There was nothing in this that is readable by a normal person. So there's some interesting ways that they were able to kind of keep sort of testing the code on this as the years went by, right? Like this came up in the early 15th century. To this day, it hasn't been deciphered, and we've got advanced, sort of cryptology techniques and things like that are, that we've gone back and deciphered old codes based on what we knew about how ancient civilizations were attempting to sort of obfuscate either, some special knowledge or something that they had.
Good vocab word.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
I'll give you
everyone.
$1 for that one.
Thank you. The interesting thing is, again, with sort of modern cryptology techniques, they've found that things that weren't previously known about this text are actually coming to light now. Things like the person who wrote it, apparently it was a very sort of free and what would you call that? Sort of loose hand. They weren't
Freeform?
right. They weren't physically like making very painstaking sort of like connections between their cryptology table and their actual manuscript. This was somebody writing in this weird language that they were able to just quickly sort of, they called it the ductus, which was their ability to see how much pressure was being put on sort of like the ends of certain characters. And other things, like they're finding characters, there's only about, in a manuscript of about 1,700 characters, there are only 20 to 22 unique characters. They're being formatted in a way that is standard to what we would consider, European languages, but there's no way to actually connect it to, an actual language that we know.
Is there a punctuation?
No, that's the other thing. No punctuation.
Where was this book originally found?
Way to bust the groove, Nick.
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. Talk to me, Wikipedia.
It's like the like an oracle. Wikipedia, tell me.
Then we went to the mountain and we spoke to Wikipedia.
Exactly.
There it was, the year 4 BCE, when Apollo went to Wikipedia to consult the oracle at Parnassus.
It's believed to have originated in northern Italy because it went through a series of owners, but the oldest account that we have of it is it being sold from some Italian count to a purveyor of books, and then from there it kind of went along.
Interesting.
So there is a lot of sort of suspicion around this. A lot of people believe it to be maybe some type of hoax, or maybe something that's someone because it was in the care of historical, unique book purveyors for so long, that maybe some of these guys got a wise idea that they were going to make some money and kind of make this cool, unique book that they were going to sell to other people. And
you're selling me on it already,
right? So when I was reading about that, I thought, maybe that makes sense, right? Bet on the greed of man before any kind of spooky stuff. But I think that reading the accounts of some of these cryptologists and these people that have gone in since recently is 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 2014, a British cryptologist came forward and said he firmly believes that this is not a hoax, just because there was so much effort put in. There would have to have been so much effort put into making it appear to be a real language for something that was that essentially would just be nonsense. So the text aside, the text is obviously interesting, right? We just talked about that for a lot, but there's several illustrations in this book that are even spookier than the text.
Good thing to bring up in a podcast.
Do tell. Okay, so Kaz is getting out of his chair. He's taking off his shirt.
He's going to the whiteboard.
He's putting his hat backwards.
So the book is essentially split into a few different parts, not due to any way that we can determine that it's been chapterized or whatever, but they're just based on the pictures, the illustrations in the book. The cryptologists have essentially divided into certain portions.
Wow.
The first one being just based on the illustration.
No,
so
you showed me. Yeah, you just did it. That was incredible.
Right,
I don't even know how you did it.
The power of imagination. So the different sections are kind of along the lines of what you would expect to be in sort of an older encyclopedia of knowledge. They have an herbal section where it goes over different plants, but all of these plants are of otherworldly sort of nature. None of these plants are actual plants that they were able to trace back to anything that actually exists. Same
That's
thing
awesome.
with there's
insane.
It's a devil spell book.
There's astronomical.
Kill it with fire!
You can't kill this with fire, obviously. It's somehow
it's
in this weird house all of a
It's
sudden.
basically written on a scab, really, when you think about it.
Dan Travis, go ahead and light a torch for me. Just put it in my good hand.
Yeah, it's weird that you even have that in here. Torch sconces.
Or it's weird that you have friends that know which hand is your good hand.
Or a flamethrower when I pick up random books.
Well, that's true.
What else is going to happen in
Where
this death trap?
is the reservoir of fuel that is allowing this flamethrower to exist? Do you have secret chambers in the walls holding propane tanks?
I don't know, but that brings up a very good point. This has got to be something that just happened one time, right? Nothing else happened with encrypted technology or anything.
There's a sort of, I would call it maybe a modern Voynich manuscript out there. It's called Cicada, and I never know if I'm saying that word correctly. Is it Cicada? Cicadia?
That boat only comes around every 30 years or something.
It goes. You can search this online, and I believe also they have a Twitter, which makes it a little less spooky, but still
you automatically get 50% less spooky when you have a Twitter handle.
So it's Cicada 3301.
Okay, this I have heard about that,
and it's essentially a public puzzle that this mysterious shadowy organization has released to the public, and it's been, I think this will be the 5th iteration this year, but it's an incredibly complex puzzle that they put forward, and they're asking the public to solve, and if you're somebody who can solve it, they'd like for you to contact them. And the interesting thing about this is no one knows what this is or what this is about, and the other thing is apparently no one has solved it, or anyone who has solved it has never come forward.
Okay, so what is it?
Or come back.
Or
how would you hear about this thing?
You can look it up, Google it.
No, but how would people have heard about it when it was active? Is it still active?
I think it just
yes.
appeared on YouTube at the beginning, wasn't it?
It was
something that popped up on
YouTube
YouTube
videos, and then it obviously became viral. People thought it was cool, and then
I'm
it spread
sure
around.
Prog Band has written a song about it.
Guaranteed. And it's still being played right now.
Yeah.
So it's like a
22 days
website
long.
you go to, and it's just a bunch of code or weird
It
language.
throws
or
like different stuff at you, I think, doesn't it?
Right, like it's. I don't know if did you guys ever hear about I Heart Bees? Did you guys
No.
ever do I Heart Bees back in the day? It was a cool sort of augmented reality game where somebody put up a sort of a phony web page that just had this like really crappy ASCII art on it, and it was like I Heart Bees, and it had a countdown. And no one knew what this website was about, but if you went in a layer deeper and looked at the HTML, you could find out certain things. There was GPS locations and different like coded messages in there, and it ended up being someone's sort of large-scale global kind of puzzle prank. They called a weird telephone at that GPS location, and ended up getting a bunch of people involved and helping trying to solve this. Some people actually thought it was real and it was aliens attempting to contact us, and it got like a bunch of people
What if it was
involved.
just trying to save the bees, and there were like different locations where there was like bees,
Or
and
like-
they were
Bees lives matter.
Yeah,
They Might Be Giants had a phone system where you could call like a 1-800 number. It would
Dial-a-song.
go,
Yep.
yeah,
Still
dial
exists.
a song.
Still
yeah.
exists.
still exists.
So it could have been just something harmless.
I Heart Bees, I think, was just a fun thing, but I think this Cicada 3301 is possibly something. I don't want to say. I don't think nefarious, but I think maybe it's
There's
you
another
know
good word.
There's. Thank you.
He's filled
I
with
love
them.
the word nefarious.
That's $2 from you, Dan Travis.
Hey, I didn't say I'd give you another $1.
Okay,
I
so
said
just
it was
one
a good word.
So it's like the opposite of a
$1 and
swear
some
jar.
accolades.
This guy with all the words over here. Here you
Yeah,
go.
he's like a smarty pants.
I know, man. Mr.
just like to
Encyclopedia
read.
Brown.
It's like he's got all the answers.
Yeah.
It's like I read books.
I can say smart words too. Watch this. Watch this. Ubiquitous.
That's a pretty good
You're
one.
just reading words out of a dictionary.
Yeah.
Omnipotent.
You're reading them very well, though.
Yes.
It's lovely.
I could listen to this all day.
Perplexing.
That's a good one,
good.
too.
That's a good one. Man.
What's another one that's got, what's the purple color of that one?
Purple.
There it is.
Magnanimous.
Ooh,
Yes.
Poo.
Poo. Okay.
is
Give
that
me a-
really the
give
dictionary?
me
Who's not in the dictionary?
one's not.
But there's like an
dictionary.
umlaut over it, so it's like a German word that
You-
means like anger beyond understanding.
This bookcase is starting to slide open over here. It looks like
whoa.
Well,
Wait.
it's sliding back. I don't know if you said like some magic word or something.
Unsafe.
but
I
told
it
you,
is
goddamn
sliding
secret
back,
passages.
and it looks like there's some sort of catacomb back here.
Oh my
It
god.
looks the
Yeah.
same to
I
me.
knew it.
That's pretty metal
That's pretty metal when the magic word is poo. That's pretty awesome.
with an umlaut.
Yeah, German, which is anger beyond
Right.
understanding.
Pew.
All right, well, I guess let's take a little break and let's check out this spooky hidden tunnel. Guess what? You are listening to Fort Fritz. Welcome back to Fort Fritz. Hard hats on, folks, because we are in a part of the house I have never been in before, and we are way in the bowels of the house. Way in the bowels of the house. Somehow, a dictionary that Man Daddy picked up caused all of this to happen. So.
You're welcome.
It's weird that you have a catacomb on the second floor of your house.
Right.
I'm just saying.
We're getting some crazy interdimensional stuff going on around about here, I think.
It doesn't seem natural.
That's a little spooky in itself.
Yeah.
You kind of had to walk down, you took a left, you walked down, you took a left, you walked down, you took a left, and then where are we now? Oh, thank you for the torch, Dan Travis.
Of course. Hey, I thought I asked you if you had a wine cellar, and you said no. You're a damn liar.
I don't believe those are bottles of wine in there.
Ooh, it's bad. Scooby.
And I'm pretty sure the
It's
architect
trippy.
of this building was MC Escher, because I don't know how we got in here from the second floor.
Oh yeah, Teslations. You
We're
guys
actually
remember
deeper. We're deeper now, and we've only gone down one floor, and we're underneath the
It's-
house.
MC Escher, crazy stairs.
Hey.
Where the hell are we?
We're in the catacombs.
Okay. Oh God, this is
So
spooky.
named now the catacombs.
The catacombs.
Kaz described this to me. Where are we?
Some sort of, it's a dank cave. There's definitely a dripping noise.
This cave is dank.
It's dank,
Yo.
This
Dank cave you got here, yeah?
is
But seriously, it's like
lit.
gross in here.
It's
We gotta get
definitely
you some damp red.
pretty spooky.
Like a lot of it.
Man, Daddy, where are you? Get out of the corner. Stop picking the mushrooms.
I'm sorry, they just look too good.
Why do you keep flicking them? Put them in your pocket.
No, you flick them so you have more later.
What is that over there? That's spooky.
Whoa.
Is that empty?
Yeah, it's a
I
big
hope it's
box.
empty.
It's-
That's not a box, guys. That's a coffin. That's a casket.
There's no way that's
Okay.
a Wait, hold on. Let me wait. I'm gonna wait. Hold on. I'm gonna just kick it.
Don't
No,
kick it.
Guys, I'm a professional.
You're a professional
These-
coffin
Don't-
kicker?
Well, all right.
Stretch first.
Still
You
not
got
a
to
good
stretch
idea,
before a good
Fritz.
coffin kicking.
No, that's a coffin.
That's a coffin.
Yeah.
That is a-
that's a coffin.
It's a very oddly
So we
specific
said.
way to determine coffins.
you
That's a
know,
coffin.
No, it's like biting on a piece of gold, and you know it's real. You got to kick a coffin.
Absolutely. You
and
got to
know
hear
it's
it. You
real.
got to hear a coffin before
be
you know
like
it's
a
a coffin.
universal-
I totally
Studios
get
coffin.
that. I totally get that.
gotta
Yeah,
get
so
out
we're
of
not
here.
we're not in catacombs. We're in a crypt. We're in
Yeah.
a
We
That's
crypt.
gotta get
officially a
outta here.
crypt now.
Guys,
Jeez.
this reminds me of the Chase Vault. We got to get out of here.
The what?
The what?
the what?
You've never heard about the Chase Vault?
The what?
Evidently not, because of all of us saying what.
The moving coffins of Barbados.
Okay.
So this story goes back to Barbados, obviously, in the Lesser Antilles, right above South America. It's a really tiny sovereign island nation. It's only about 21 miles long by 14 miles wide, and it was for over 300 years a British colony. And so this story goes into the middle of the triangular trade, where sugarcane plantations were making the country most of its money, and slavery was instituted. But in Austin, in Christchurch Parish Cemetery, along the seaboard side of Barbados' southern coast, a sunken crypt was built for someone named James Elliot in 1724. And it was sunken somewhat into the ground. It was constructed mainly from the compacted coral that makes up the foundation of most of the island, but it was reinforced.
A sunken crypt?
Yeah, a sunken
Like the
crypt.
ones
So you
in
would-
like New Orleans.
basically, so
Which
you
is
had
what?
to like walk down a flight of stairs to go into the crypt, which was sunken underground, and it was compacted out of this coral that makes up like most of the island, limestone, and then it was reinforced
Coquino.
with concrete about 2 feet thick, and they would seal it off with this marble slab of blue marble that said it was so large that it took about 6 or 7 men to move it in order to close it off.
Wow.
But for about 80 years, nobody inhabited this crypt. And eventually, when the property was sold in 1808 to the wealthy Colonel Thomas Chase, he purchased the tomb as a family burial plot. And there was one body interred in there the previous year. It was Thomasina Goddard, and she had been a family friend of the family that owned the crypt before they sold it to Thomas Chase. But he decided not to remove her body and to leave it there. But it
Probably
wouldn't be
smart.
long.
Yeah. Nobody likes moving bodies.
Dead body, stay where the dead body want to stay.
Yeah, I'm not touching that.
But Goddard's remains were put in a simple wooden coffin inside of the vault. The Chase family was known locally for their violent and cruel treatment of their slaves on their properties. Even though slavery had been abolished the previous year, the institution would not be dismantled for another several years. Particularly Thomas, the patriarch of the family, he was known for his rabid abuse of his family and his slaves. This plays in later on into the story. On almost immediately after he purchased the burial plot, tragedy struck the Chase family with the death of their 2-year-old daughter, Mary Ann Marie Chase, on February 22nd, 1808. Her remains were placed in a heavy, solid coffin made of lead, and when the marble slab was removed to inter her remains, it was noted that Teresa Goddard's wooden casket was there undisturbed and nothing was strange or it appeared to be totally normal, and the slab was replaced and resealed. And
Why
then-
are you telling us that a coffin was unmoved?
That's scary as hell.
Well,
The thing just sat there
Could have been forever.
forever.
So 4 years pass, and then in 1812, the death of Dorcas Chase, Mary Ann's older sister. D-O-R-C-A-S. Dorcas.
That's
Dorcas.
unfortunate.
Dorcas, that is unfortunate.
Dorcas had
Her
a...
brother Dingus.
Don't speak ill of the dead.
Very respectful. So Dorcas Chase, Mary Ann's older sister, had passed away in 1812, and it's rumored that she had committed suicide by starvation because of her father, Thomas Chase's abuse. And she was also buried in a lead casket of cumbersome weight, and she was buried on July the 6th of that year. And once again, upon opening and observing the interior of the tomb, nothing seemed to be amiss. And then less than a month later, Thomas Chase himself, the patriarch, he died, and the cause was also thought to be suicide. And Thomas's remains were to be buried in a 240-pound lead casket that took 8 men to move into the crypt. And when they opened the vault this time, though, they noticed that something was definitely wrong. The two daughters' caskets, both made of very heavy lead and totally solid, had been strewn across the tomb like it was like they were child's things. A lot of people reportedly said they were like child's toys strewn aside.
I just got goosebumps.
And one was leaned up upside down against the far wall of the tomb. And yet Godard's casket remained untouched. So then the caskets were restored to their original places, and
After all of that,
wow. And entering the new casket of Thomas Chase, the tomb was resealed, and another 4 years pass. And then in September of 1816, an 11-year-old boy, Charles Ames, he passed away, and the tomb was reopened. And again, the coffins were discovered in disarray, including Chase's 240-pound behemoth casket, tossed aside like a child's thing. So by this time, there was a bunch of different rumors and stories going on in the parish that there was some haunting going on in this tomb, and people report screaming, and it's also attributed to the mysterious death of a bunch of horses unexpectedly throwing themselves off a cliff and killing themselves.
Oh, wow.
Was due to this tomb.
That's creepy.
That's super creepy.
And hilarious.
That's the word I was going to say first.
So then, not even 2 months pass before the father of Charles, Samuel Brewston, dies. And before he's buried, the vault's examined from the exterior to make sure that nothing has disturbed it. And it's found to be both air and watertight. And yet when they open the slab, it's impossible that these lead caskets had been thrown about so violently that some of the caskets had even damaged each other, chipping away bits to where a skeleton's arm was hanging out of one of them.
Oh my God.
Like they're being thrown around.
Like they're being thrown around this room with no one being able to get in or out of this room. So they once again reset everything, put it back in, resealed the tomb.
Now, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results?
You nailed it.
In 1819, there was another burial that had to be in the same Chase vault, and it was this of Thomasina Clark. The then governor of Barbados was attending this burial and witnessed for himself what they found when they opened the slab. No one could explain it again.
Was it at this point when like everyone knew about this?
Everyone knew about this.
It sounds like a really good event for tourism. Let's see what happens when we pull back those slabs.
And all this happened in less than 11 years.
It's like Groundhog's Day with dead people.
So when they open it up again, of course, again, all of the coffins have been thrown around violently, and they're all strewn all over. And again, Goddard's coffin was untouched. So the governor, after they reset everything once again, ordered a thorough examination of this site. He wanted to solve this mystery. He wanted to calm the fears of the people in the surrounding parish. And so he had the men put down this fine white sand inside the tomb, all across all the caskets and on the floor. So if someone was to enter it, they would see footprints or some sort of markings that would show trace evidence that someone had been inside of it. And then he also had them mortar off the marble slab when they resealed the tomb, and he put signet impressions of his ring to make sure that if it was cracked, that they would be able to tell that the seal was broken. The accounts are a little bit off on this, but somewhere between 8 months and 2 years later, he gave the order out of sheer curiosity.
Yeah, of
Let's
course.
go see if we find some crazy stuff, guys.
So they went back down and they examined it, and the marble slab seemed untouched, and it seemed like nothing had been molested. The signet ring impressions were still there. He wanted further evidence, so he had them break the seals and open up the contents. And this is the creepiest part of all. So the 240-pound lead casket of Thomas Chase was barring the marble entranceway upright, standing on end, as if to prevent anyone from getting in or out of the room. It took 8 men to move the coffin down so they could get inside and inspect what had happened. And again, all of the coffins, these very, very heavy lead caskets, had been thrown all over, and it even to the point where a corner had chipped off of Marie Ann's casket, and of solid lead. which implies an incredible amount of force.
Yeah.
And yet, the white sand he had put down, there were no footprints. Nothing else was disturbed in the room.
Spooky.
So the governor ordered the room to be cleared, and they buried everyone else in individual plots in the cemetery parish.
That is really, really terrifying. And do you guys want to get out of the crypt?
Yeah.
I really do.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
We'll recap outside of the crypt.
That thing just moved.
Get out of
Okay,
here.
everyone get
Yeah,
out.
let's go.
Run, back away,
Fast
back away.
walk.
All right, welcome back to Fort Fritz. We just reconvened on the patio, drank some beers, and we're listening to the thunderstorm rolling away, and hopefully, we can get that segment of the house.
The rain still looks kind of oddly thick.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of making
Go
an odd
taste it.
splat. What?
Go taste it.
I'm the one who drank the water before here. isn't it?
Exactly. You're the one that has the
All
most
right, I'll
advanced,
do it.
weird
It's also very
liquid
noisome,
palate.
and I
Yeah.
learned that from the dictionary.
It's kind of too thick for rain.
All right.
I guess.
Kind of looks like petroleum jelly, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's like gargling with Vaseline.
But your smile is dazzling now.
Ooh, thank you. I can't stop smiling, and it feels like my pupils are dilating.
Now that I have time to kind of compress everything down, let's go back. And this petroleum jelly all over my yard, I can only hope it's petroleum jelly.
And not white blood cells.
Yes, which happened in Oakville, Washington.
Yep, Oakville, Washington.
And it only happened twice, and it had traces of human DNA.
Human white blood cells.
That only happened like 20 years ago, or like 25 years ago.
1994.
That's pretty crazy.
That was not a long
23
time
years
ago at
ago.
all. And then when we went inside, we found this manuscript that's written in an ancient and pretty much incoherent language that I could
Code.
probably sell for a lot of money.
Yeah,
On skin.
written
On
on
skin.
Which is not like the Necronomicon at all. Like, written on human skin and by the mad Arabs. So there's no chance that your house has the Necronomicon at all, right?
I honestly
Right?
don't know which one is more metal, like white blood cell rain or,
They're both pretty
Necronomicon.
metal.
Skin book.
Both pretty metal.
Well,
Both metal.
the Voynich manuscript, it's over 250 pages. I got it right over there, and it's like early 15th century, like Italian.
The origins are kind of the origin myth is kind of spread around, but we're not really sure. But they assume Italian, 15th
That's
century
awesome.
Italian.
And then over here, I got the coffins of Barbados with this evil spirit, and probably inside of the bowels of my house now.
I just want to make it clear that I'm never borrowing a book from your library.
Yeah, we should keep all the books there.
That is super spooky.
Luckily, there's a lot of fire in the library, so we might be able to get this all in one shot.
You think it's just like evil is cleansed by fire?
Oh, kill it by fire. Why
Yeah,
would
I
you?
guess so.
It's the fire suppression system instead of a fire suppression system.
Yeah, we just use more fire. You actually fight fire with fire.
Yeah, you can burn. Oh, that's a great song.
Burn
by
the
way.
fire
But
away.
yeah, you could just burn a book.
Or all of them.
Yeah, we could. Yeah. Do you guys want to check out any of the nearby shops?
Oh, yeah.
We still haven't ordered food, so let's go grab something to eat.
I'm thinking Thai.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Thai. Yeah.
I don't know. Never trust a 24-hour Thai place.
Ooh, I don't
Yeah,
know. That
strip
sounds
mall.
even better.
Well, on behalf of Mandate Kaz, Nick Spry, and Dan Travis, you're listening to Fort Fritz. We will catch you next time. Call 570-478-3789 or 570-4RT-FRTZ. Tell us all your spooky stories. Let your imagination run wild.
Will be the earlier you show, the more likely to participate in the drawing. Have a great time.